iDubbbz, who's consistently used Creator Clash as a way to shield criticism because it's a charity event.
This beautiful charity event, they've raised so much money for himself.
What was the charity for? Like cancer research?
These guys are such virtue signalers. These are the people that vote Democrat because they want to feel justified in spitting on homeless people.
It's crazy what a little CTE or the love of a woman will do to you.
When you find out what that is, iDubbbz, let me know.
Don't use charity as a shield. It's not a shield. Hurt me as much as you want.
Hurt me as much as you want, but leave the kids with cancer alone. Ian, you're giving me cancer.
I even hate calling it drama. At the end of the day, it was you kind of taking a stand of being pro-Palestine.
I wonder how people in Gaza think about every single white American creator being like, guys, I'm just doing it for Palestine.
Doesn't it seem like he made this content cop to get bad press so he could drop out?
I think that he thought it would blow him up and he would get like really good press. And he's like, oh, this is definitely the way to go here. The way that iDubbbz interacts with Creator Clash, it's like I can say and do whatever I want and be as obnoxious as I want as long as I'm doing a nice thing. Alright guys, let's get this going here. Listen, you know we always love a good WillyMac video. Oh wait, I got the hat. I got the WillyMac hat. Right here, dude. What is it? It says Willy Drama Farm, Piker, USA. Dude, he spelled Parker wrong, but we still gotta love it. Anyway, it's called iDubbbz Career is Over, featuring Hasan and OnlyFans. I'm curious about it, dude. Let's have a nice casual chill day. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Right now, I'm seeing
hey.
What is happening now? I'm seeing iDubbbz and Noah Samson add like Ethan receiving human skulls in the mail is just a funny meme.
Your opinion on the skulls, and did you send them?
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know.
iDubbbz has a weird head. That's it. Me too, but he just kind of has a weird head. It's kind of like a strawberry or something, you know what I mean? It is what it is, I'm just saying.
Oh, I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that.
Ooh, funny. Funny skulls.
Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or something like that.
Were they actually from skulls.com, or was it somebody saying that as like a downplay to, you know, kind of be a little insulting? Either way, I think that they should have just, like I said this before, they should have capitalized on the Party City sale that there was going on, where they were selling, they were 90% off because they're ending. Party City's over, dude.
That made it funny.
Just like a death threat to a father, a family.
This was such a funny moment from Noah. I'm pretty sure he was being sarcastic, but it was still so funny. I wish he was like being more serious, you know?
Yeah.
You think that he let it slip? He did think it was like a death threat to a father, but he's just like he's playing it off as a joke because he knows this community will hate him for it.
Was it a death threat?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no.
Yes, the threat is motivated on your...
I mean, I feel like it's not unreasonable to interpret it as a death threat, right? Like that's not... is that a crazy thing to think? Oh, great.
Community slandering Ethan as a racist who loves genocide. The threat so obviously is you don't know who we are, but we know where you and your family live. I thought Ian would be empathetic towards this, since he thought Sam Hyde was gonna kill him for no reason.
It was the craziest thing because Anissa said...
Yeah, that's actually so funny. Did he really think Sam Hyde was gonna kill him, though? Is that for real?
To me, she's like, Kate, you don't understand. Ian and I both believe that Sam Hyde would really come and find me and would actually murder me.
That's crazy. Yeah. Do they really think that? That's crazy.
So that's the reason why we have to take all these precautions. And I'm just like, are you sure?
I'm coming to kill you!
I was like,
okay.
I think the guy's a millionaire. I was like, I don't think he's going to risk his freedom to kill you.
Meanwhile, 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy were killed in the name of stopping a genocide. The same thing these guys...
Bro, I mean, I'll try to remember to link my coverage of that, but like the Hasan Parker was definitely fucking dog whistling that you should not care. It was fucking crazy. Okay.
Accuse Ethan and his family of defending, but Ethan's crazy for being worried.
No, this is a hallucination.
Hallucination.
I will say it once again. If I don't think it's appropriate for someone to call CPS on Ethan Klein, why the f would I ever think it's appropriate for someone to kill Ethan Klein? Are you stupid? Of course. That is insane.
No, but you'd still praise them and hop on streams with them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Bad Empanada, I don't know if he would actually kill Ethan Klein. I'm pretty sure Bad Empanada is just like cosplaying as like an edgy guy that he's kind of a pussy, though. You know, that's why he lives in a country and like tries to hide away from everything. He's kind of a pussy. But, you know, I can see why people will be, like, afraid of him. He's a weirdo.
Empanada is encouraging people to continue to make false...
It's one of those things where it's like, you know, you should... Maybe sometimes looks are not deceiving. You know, maybe you should judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but also kind of, you know, just being real with you, dog, you know?
CPS calls to Ethan and Gila. He's acting like it's a big joke.
Hello. Is this, Child Protective Services?
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, is this Child Protective Services? Yeah.
Thank you. I'd like to report...
Yeah, you guys keep harassing me over threatening children on the internet, apparently. Apparently, from my understanding, is this guy, like, threatened a kid and then they took their own life, and he laughed about it. But you know what? I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's what I heard, dude. It's fucking crazy.
A case
This guy's just like, this guy just screams, "Stay away from him." You know what I mean?
of endemic dog shit infestation, and it also contains two Zionists. And as we all know, Zionists are baby killers. So I think this is a very dangerous situation for children given the dog shit, and the Zionists keep those kids safe.
This might be funny if it wasn't actually happening. This guy is also a serial doxer. He's doxing people on Twitter right now as we speak. It's so wild to me that we have this group of people that have devolved into this mentality where lying is completely okay. Hasan's
Yeah, it's a wild time, man. It's a wild time where like nothing matters anymore. Okay.
biggest fan account is spreading the lie that Asman killed his mom. Just makes it up. Even Frogan, the least relevant Hasan groupie, is completely lying about her past statements.
It's kind of funny because Frogan just like disappeared. Like, she's still recommended on Twitch for some reason. I have no idea why. Like, if I go on Twitch to look up Brick Nerman, I don't know if you guys know who Brick Nerman is. He's Fart Narman on Twitch. He's a TikTok guy. He was super funny back in the day. He's still funny now. But I see her on there, and she doesn't talk about drama or anything anymore because I think that she's like too upset. But at the same time, like, she just sits there and watches like TV shows and does terrible makeup. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's not really interesting. It's just a thing that's happening.
Saying veterans deserved PTSD.
I'm a live streamer as well. I know.
I'm a live streamer as well. By the way, I'm also a podcaster. I get about 1,000 views a podcast. It's not your emotional dumping ground, guys.
Being live for hours and hours on end, you can misspeak, and that is exactly what happened whenever I said the thing about the U.S. military.
Bro, you didn't
Me when I misspeak? I'm pretty sure she like quadrupled down on it though.
Speak. You were serious.
I will never have any pity for any soldiers. U.S. military? Who fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
She lives in Michigan, by the way. And then you double
Oh yeah, Middle Western, baby. Middle Western.
down the next day laughing at what you said.
And they posted it in my head. I'm like,
Based? Me when I'm
People are
based?
such cry bullies. If you aren't 100% with them, you're against them. A Twitter account posted
Yeah, pretty much. Didn't they're going after Ryan Beard. Hasan's upset at Ryan Beard for not completely throating his dick.
that Hasan was banned for a day. Well, Hasan frames them as an agent of Israel. Hasan replies, every blue check power farmer is an Israeli dick rider on this website. This guy didn't say anything. All he did was report your ban. And you have a blue check mark. Frogan sees Asman speak mildly about political content on Twitch. In Frogan's eyes, he's discriminating against her.
If I wanted to optimize...
Well, Asmongold is like a fucking weird conservative, like, cum dumpster. You know, I'm just being, like, from the stuff I've seen, he's just regurgitates whatever the popular opinion is. Like, he's completely, like, that's literally his entire thing. So, you know.
As ad revenue, you know what I would do?
He would sit here and he would literally just guzzle conservative cum, which is what he does. Like, I know that Asmongold's like the virtue signal, like, oh, if I wanted to advertise ad revenue, I would do X, Y, and Z on Twitch. He literally will just say the popular opinion on politics, which is like right-leaning right now. And he'll become more progressive as that's become more of like what's acceptable to talk about, because that's what's happening, right? Like, more progressive stuff is like slowly coming back in. Everything's an ebb and flow. So like, that's what he does. Like, let's not sit here and pretend Asmongold's a good person. Or I don't think he's a bad person, but he's like a complete, like, he's 1,000% just like a fucking like conservative mouthpiece. Like, he's an I want money guy. He just does it in a way that's like, oh, he doesn't prioritize Twitch ad revenue. Wow, he must not care about money. Okay.
I ban politics. The odds are that me and Hasan and Tectone and Frogan and Denims and Central Committee cause 90% of the PR problems on the...
This is true. You could just go to another app then.
Entire fwebsite.
Honestly, facts. Rogan tweets, you consider me political because I wear a hijab. I am not like you and don't make political content anywhere, but typing a tweet once in a while. What reality is she
Not true at all. It's not really a cope. It's a fact. Sorry, dude.
living in? No one mentioned your hijab. And now we have the newest...
I'm sorry it's upsetting to you that like that right now that is where like everything is very conservative acceptable. That's what he just spouts conservative talking about. I've watched a few videos of his. And like it's slowly gonna become more progressive as that's acceptable. Like he's literally just completely like held to his audience and whatever they think.
Rising star in Hasan's orbit, iDubbbz, who's consistently used Creator Clash as a way to shield criticism because it's a charity event.
It's disappointing and it makes me sick to see him, like, using the event as a way to, like, attack me back or whatever.
And this beautiful charity event, they've raised so much money for himself. It's such a beautiful thing.
New management of Creator Clash 3 revealed that Ian and Anise...
Yeah, okay, we got a lot of Asmongold guzzlers in here. Okay.
So we're taking 34% of the profit from this event. Was Ian really concerned about his charity possibly failing, or did he only care about his bottom line?
Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so...
I still don't understand what that means. Because I don't know where, like, Hila doesn't take accountability. I don't even know what she would take accountability for. It's just such a confusing thing to say.
Oh, that will rest solely on my shoulders.
You're literally the same just for the opposite side, just, you know, Mr. Guy. I'm really not. That's, like, not true. People get, like, you know, like, I understand why you think that. And that's because, like, you show up for, like, one video a month, and that's cool. But, like, I have a very conservative leaning Instagram page because I would make very edgy jokes. And especially at the start of Donald Trump getting elected, I just posted what I felt, and I, like, a lot of people cried at me and, like, pissed and moaned. It's okay to disagree with me, but, like, you're factually wrong and you're coping because you need to, like, write me off. But that's just not true. Sorry, friend. Sorry, buddy.
But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it.
He thought he was cooking with this. Since then, Freddie Wong seemingly dropped out of the event after seeing Ian drag Creator Clash through this drama. Both the fighters from the main
I appreciate having Asmongold viewership in here. That's always fun.
Event dropped out of Creator Clash 3, blaming Ian for it. The event went from an arena that hosted 20,000 people to one that has a capacity of 4,000. A reputable harm has been done to this charity event. Everyone rightfully blames Ian and Anissa, but the funniest part is it's barely a charity event at all. Ian responded.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, if, like, honestly, I think that if they didn't, especially recently, trying to make Ethan seem like a bad guy for criticizing a guy that runs a charity event, I wouldn't have really cared too much, but that's what he's doing. He's trying to position it as this, like, big important charity event so that he could be like, oh, you're not allowed to criticize me, which is really funny because, like, iDubbbz really, the way that iDubbbz interacts with Creator Clash is the same way that Hasan interacts with like Gaza. It's like I can say and do whatever I want and be as obnoxious as I want as long as I'm doing a nice thing, right? And I'm not saying advocating for Gaza isn't a nice thing. I'm just saying, like, they think that because they have a thing, like, oh, I'm doing a charity event. Oh, I support Gaza. That means that they can say whatever and do whatever they want.
On Reddit, we restructured so the funds for our charity partner would be raised on Tiltify, separate and apart from the actual event. The Tiltify is essentially when you go to Walmart checkout and ask you to round up $1 for charity. That's the
not gonna happen, dude. Not gonna happen, dude. Fuck those people. I don't even know how to round. Dude, what the fuck?
Extent to the charity aspect. People joke that this event would be a disaster like TanaCon.
He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon?
But TanaCon's problem was that too many
people are so triggered. I've watched you since 2021 and Asmongold since last week. Oh man, it's not that difficult to see you do the same tactics. True, dude. Oh my god.
People showed up. For this one, there might be too many folding chairs. Yes, this is the actual venue. To hear him cry about, oh, this charity event's getting...
Yeah, Ethan, like, free promoted both events. It's so funny.
Ruined when no pay-per-view sales, ticket sales, or profits from concessions is going to charity is a whole nother level of dishonesty.
What was the charity for? Like cancer research, or I don't even remember.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
stand up to cancer.
Cancer is bad, comes below, I don't like this guy. And I'm going to talk about not liking this guy before I talk about cancer is bad. Because I don't really care about either, but I'm more likely to make videos.
Dude, these guys are such virtue signalers. They literally only support these good causes because they want to feel justifiable in being such toxic pieces of shit. Holy fuck. These are the people that vote Democrat because they want to feel justified in spitting on homeless people. It's like, I don't need to give you any money. I already voted Democrat. It's just like this feeling of superiority because of it. It's actually fucking so unhinged.
Out of that guy, and whoever gets in the way of that, even if it's kids with cancer, fuck them.
Noah, do you not know cancer is bad? Are you unaware? Oh, sorry guys, can't criticize Ian. There's this crazy disease nobody's heard of called cancer.
Giardia cancer. You guys ever heard that's cancer of the poop?
It's been a disastrous event. It's worthy of criticism.
The way I see it is I think the common defense from the other side would be something along the lines of, like, don't use charity as a shield. But I think they completely missed the point that it's like, it's not a shield. It's just like, hurt me as much as you want. You know, it's basically
hurt me as much as you want, but leave the kids with cancer alone. Ian, you're giving me cancer, okay? With your fucking idiot bullshit.
Basically saying, like, you do not have a case. You are not winning. You are not hurting me. So you're trying to find other ways to hurt me. You are like, you're kind of by attacking this other thing, by triangulating this other thing, you are proving that nothing's working, you know?
Yeah.
And
oh man.
Yeah, oh man, that was completely retarded. Your own fighters are dropping out of the event. You think it's all
in mass, dude. They're dropping out in mass. It's actually crazy how much they fumbled this shit.
malicious? They just want to hurt you? All of this genuine criticism.
I actually agree with your assessment of Asmongold because I used to watch this. Yeah, listen, dude, I don't think Asmongold's like a bad person. I just think he's very. I think Asmongold. I don't think he's like grifting at all. I don't know if I said that or insinuated that, then I would think it's wrong of me. But I do think that he's completely sensitive to what is basically in the Overton window. Like, it's very easy to see what is and is not like acceptable to talk about in order to like maximize audience potential, depending on what community you're into. And like in the online community, when Trump was like elected, it was very like, oh, Trump amazing. And that's why Asmongold has become more reasonable as time goes on, because like everything is shifting. And like, I think he's sensitive to it. I don't know if it's an intentional thing or if it's more of just like how he's feeling out the way things are going of like, oh, which I think most people are. They're kind of just like they're kind of just like sensing like, well, where are we at? But I do think that that's where Asmongold kind of lies, you know? Like, I've seen him talk like weirdly. He's like, yeah, I know Donald. Like, I've literally seen him. This was the wildest thing. I literally saw him talk about how he does actually think that Donald Trump riled an insurrection, but he doesn't really care that much enough to be like, oh, Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, right? So like those are kind of like the if you actually thought that he did that, you wouldn't be so like, oh, Donald Trump kind of based. I also think it's kind of a weird coward move to do like the Nuxtaku argument, which Asmongold seems to kind of hover around, which is like, oh, I don't necessarily really care what's going on. I'm just in it for the chaos. I think that's also kind of pathetic. It's also like a millionaire take, right? It's just like, oh, nothing really affects me. I don't really care. Ha ha ha. It's like it's like I'm a big troll. Nothing I say matters. Kind of like an idiot thing.
Criticism is just a lie to you. Here's Wade, one of the commentators, talking about how misled he was.
You're telling people it's a charity event. Stop telling people that, because it's not what it is.
Damn.
That was the whole issue with the lack of communication behind number 1 and 2, that it's a charity event. It's not a charity event. It's a boxing event that you are perpendicularly associating with a separate charity that has nothing to do with people buying the boxing event. I was a part of the event and didn't know any of this. I didn't know where money is going, outside of the fact that I was offered and said no.
Jay LeRae, one of the fighters, didn't know.
Jay LeRae, dude, shout out to Jay LeRae. She unfollowed me on Instagram when I started being vocal about how I didn't like Ethan getting shit. People saying that his kids eat shit and human skulls being sent to him. So she unfollowed me. I'm pretty sure though, and God bless you. I'm pretty sure though that like Jay LeRae has a crush on iDubbbz, and I think that iDubbbz and Jay LeRae would work out a lot more. I think Anissa. I don't think iDubbbz and Anissa will work out very well. They don't have like a very compatible. Like they're not very compatible together. I think Jay LeRae is basically Anissa, but like a little softer and not quite as obnoxious and hateful and spite driven and mean and rude and just kind of just a rotten piece of shit. And so I think that like when Ian and Anissa do get divorced, unless they force themselves to stay together because of the internet hate, they're like, oh, we have to prove them wrong. I think that they would make a good pairing. I'm trying to figure out who would make a good pairing with Anissa. You know, she needs like a more dominant guy to kind of keep her shit together, keep her in line. I don't know. She probably would want to do Hasan. I don't know if that would ever happen, but we could. I mean, maybe we'll see. I don't know though. I really don't know.
Understand that this wasn't a charity event.
Those of you that don't know, I'm going to be boxing in Creator Clash 3 in Tampa, Florida this June 28th. I'm very excited. You can grab your tickets now. In-person tickets are on sale, and pay-per-view tickets are on sale as well. You can go grab pay-per-view tickets now. All proceeds from this event are going to Stand Up to Cancer.
That is just...
Yeah, that's not true. Sorry.
Not true. The proceeds are profit for the organizers. Only the Tiltify money goes to charity.
So you know Jay LeRae really likes iDubbbz because iDubbbz literally ruined the boxing event, and she's still on his side. That's a ride or die for you. Okay, iDubbbz. Come on, bud. You gotta pick your ladies better. The hell are you doing?
What was Ian's response in his newest video? Well, it's just a miscommunication.
I have felt
guys, I was told if I wanted to, I could give everything to charity. So basically the plan was to make a bunch of money on the event if I could, and then maybe donate it. But also we had a bunch of shareholders we were held to. We had to pay the shareholders. But then again, doesn't seem to be any shareholders. Guys, I'm a good guy. This is a charity event. Stop criticizing me. It's not nice.
extremely handcuffed by Creator Clash these past years because I'm not an expert communicator and I don't know how to...
He learned empathy, but not communication. Terrible.
Convey things.
Get my vitality up to 30. All right, I'll work on it, boss.
Not over communicate.
Is that my problem?
Not do all these things that potentially put the event at risk and put other people at risk. And that's kind of why I wanted to step away from this event. It feels like it's inhibiting my ability, like the business side of things, like inhibits my ability to communicate openly and effectively, especially when there's so many people counting on me to, you know, do that well.
What does this even mean? What does this even mean? You're running a business. You're gonna have different priorities. These words, he's just saying words at this point.
You don't have to be an expert communicator to let people know that this is a for-profit event. The new people that took over made it clear in just a few lines on the transparency page of the Creator Clash website. When things evolve, each new iteration is supposed to get better, like phones or tools, not Creator Clash. The fourth one's gonna be held in Ian's backyard. But
I mean, I don't even know if is there even gonna like confirmed be a third one? There has to be some kind of a fucking Hail Mary for another one of these to take place.
The best example of evolution might be Exter Wallet. Exter is innovating the wallet game with a slim, slick design, a button that makes all your
Is that the one that turns into fire when you touch it?
cards easily accessible,
What
and
is
a
this?
finder
The
card
hell?
so you never lose your wallet again. I think we all have a friend or dad with a wallet that looks like this, big, bulky, ugly. If you sit on
I do have an old wallet, and I've still got that wallet, dude.
it, it gives you back pain. And as big as it is, I still lose it. And with Father's Day coming up, we don't have to live this way any longer. Now I just pull out the Find My Phone app where I can see the exact location. If you move too far away from it, it gives you a notification.
Of your wallet? Can't you put like an AirTag? That's expensive though.
So you never leave it behind. And
I'm surprised Creator Clash hasn't reached out to me to invite me to go to the event for free, dude. Like, come on. I'll go there. I'll be an announcer. You guys have any of those? I could say, hey, I could be excited. Hey, something's happening. This guy got fucking punched in the face, dude. That's crazy. Wow, incredible.
And if you get too far from it, you can even ring it.
I'm thinking that's a boss I don't want to fight.
It's slim, convenient, and water resistant. So whether it's for yourself or a Father's Day gift, Exker is the wallet upgrade that everyone will appreciate. So go to partner.esker.com/WillyMac Show and use code WillyMac Show to get 50% off your order. Thank you, Exker, for sponsoring this video.
It was revealed with the change of ownership that Anissa and I, because we're 1/3 ownership of Creator Clash the business, that we were getting 34% of the profit share. We weren't anticipating this event doing well. Like, we wanted to do well enough to pay back the investors, of course. So that's
the investors, of course. What investors? What investors?
one of the reasons that we were, you know, okay with the profit share thing.
So you guys were expecting it to fail? That's why I think it's so cowardly you guys bailed out of this event. Doesn't it seem like he made this content cop to get bad press so he could drop out? It's interesting how it...
I mean, maybe. I think that he thought it would fucking blow him up and he would get like really good press. And he's like, oh, this is definitely the way to go here. I think that's the fucking problem, is he thought this was a good business move. It just didn't work out. Although I don't think that, I think that theory that he did it on purpose to have bad press, I think that one could hold water too.
It took till now for moves to be made to make sure this event isn't a complete financial failure.
But another part of it as well is that the contract wasn't structured in a way that the profit share could just directly go to charity. It was told to us, like, you could just donate your portion of the profit share to
I love that. You could just donate it if you want. I mean, we could all just donate if we wanted to. Jesus Christ.
charity after the event. So we were like, okay, fine. Now I know some people will find it hard to believe that Anissa and I were just going to give our portion of the profit.
Yes, they would never believe that in a fucking million years. Are you kidding?
Share to charity. There's nothing I could really say to, I think, convince them otherwise. It was
You're not credible. Nobody trusts you. You're a fucking loser.
up to our discretion at the end of the day.
The reasoning is so weird. We took profit knowing that the event would fail, but if it somehow succeeded, we would donate that money anyway. You just have to trust us on that. Why not just have that in the contract? Instead of it going to you and Anissa, it goes to charity.
Yeah, that would make sense if you actually had that as the intention.
Can it not be written in? Am I missing something? Brother, you and your wife aren't exactly known as honest people.
I'm very happy that, you know, this year money is being raised for charity.
Well, this is one of the reasons why they're not known as honest people, right? It's because they made this contract that, like, nobody believes operates the way that they're saying at all. You'd have to be a fool to actually think that it was that in any capacity. So nobody believes that it ever was going to operate this way. And all they had to do, because and they didn't think that they'd get caught on it. They didn't think that they'd have to come forward and talk about it publicly. That's like another thing as well. But then guess what? They had to. Like, this is, but the only reason is because of this. because they sold the event and it went to like critical failure and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so like I think the only reason that they have this contract that's just so it's really in their favor. I don't think there's any other way to say it. That's so in their favor is because they didn't think that they were going to get held to task. They didn't think that people were going to see it. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to think.
Charity, and I'm glad to know that it's already more successful than years.
Yeah, but definitely more successful. That's what it is. It's more successful. It's not that Hasan decided to raise money for you guys after you were a good little boy for him.
Too. Mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned.
That money wasn't raised by you. It was raised by Hasan reacting to Ethan's content, Nuke.
Half of it. He filibustered it too. Kind of ridiculous.
If you don't host your event at all, that money still goes to charity. You've done nothing.
Go figure. The white guy, 8 years later,
white guy.
Nina Sarkeesian was kind of onto something.
The
There's
white
a lot
guy.
of assholes on the internet, and they're kind of misogynistic too. I think it's crazy what a little CTE or the love of a woman will do to you.
Whenever you're
when you find out what that is, iDubbbz, let me know. Damn.
Around Anissa, you look like an abused dog.
I just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
I see this clip so much, and every time I do, it kills me.
Because since I've known you, you've always had
She's
like
shitting his pants all the time.
IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
Look at how comfortable he looks while he. Look at how comfortable he looks while he's being told this. Isn't it such a beautiful thing? It's so funny.
You know, I'm not gonna
he's
spend.
at a cafe. Burton, has he always had IBS? Ian's just looking like a shriveled. You look like the grandma from SpongeBob. The chocolate grandma. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what's happened to Ian. He has zero confidence. He doesn't even know how to speak for himself anymore. His boxing coach is telling stories on how Anissa tells Ian when he's hungry.
One time we ended sparring, and afterwards everybody's hanging out, and she walks up to Ian and she goes, "You're hungry."
Yes.
And then so they had to leave because Ian was hungry.
Do you feel like I speak too much for you? Like in this
I don't think so. You know me better than like I think it's a weird
Seconds right hand, Alex Wasabi.
Well, I shouldn't say it's weird.
I'm gonna kill this person.
The reason Anissa does it is because typically whatever the topic is, she's filling in the blank. Because I don't say it for myself, I think a lot of the times. You know, my head's in a different space.
You're not kind to
I mean, listen, my dynamic with my wife will sometimes, she doesn't really speak for me. Just speaks for herself. I don't know. This is just so strange the way that iDubbbz interacts with shit.
yourself. You've never been kind to yourself. And you'll never share.
I love this. She's just sitting here talking about his IBS, making him uncomfortable. Very clearly, visibly. He's not putting up any defense. And she's like, "Oh, people think that you don't defend yourself." He's like, No, I don't. I do. You just know me so much better. And it's just like, you know, in Anissa's defense, he doesn't speak up for himself. So how the fuck would she really know? You know, I don't know if he's afraid or if he just likes turning his brain off because he has a fucking horrific CTE. I really have no idea. What the fuck?
Like if you're in a room with a bunch of people and people are talking about like what they accomplish or what they've done, you'll never ever speak up about that.
Does she change your diapers too? Now, I don't know how much weight to put into what this guy's saying. Maybe he's just angry and trying to get back at them for some reason. But now
that could be possible, you know, but there's no real charity left for Ian, so.
There's another story about Ian getting cucked, no meme.
I've heard is that she was hitting on one of his sparring partners and was obsessed with him and gave him a VIP pass to the event.
A lot of his sparring partners got the passes, but she definitely had a big crush on one of the guys that would come in and spar with them, because anytime they would spar, she would just be super into it and watch every moment. And then even if he would like beat Ian up, she'd be very into it. And then
I want to say that I want to say that before. So Anissa never gave shout outs to Michael training Ian at all, but she.
I don't know. I think that some of this is probably like as uncharitable as possible, just to kind of fuck with iDubbbz and Anissa. But I'm not. I mean, whatever, man. Like they're pieces of shit, so I don't really care. It's just funny.
Put out the first video of Ian like getting rocked in sparring when Ian was sparring with her crush her crush.
Anissa allegedly flew out over 300 creators to the event with no requirement to promote it.
He's like, our brand is at stake.
That was the biggest thing, because I don't think did anybody really actively, like any of the fighters actively promote this thing in any meaningful capacity? If you're going to spend money on the event, wouldn't you want to spend it on trying to promote the event? It just makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like, they're such bad business people. I mean, I feel like 99% of the advertisement for Creator Clash 1 was just them going on Ethan's podcast. You know, they didn't really seem to have anybody say, hey, we're going to do this event. I don't know. There just was really nothing going on. I just don't really feel like there was enough advertisement for it when there definitely could have been more. It just seemed like a big fucking mess the whole time. No? I don't know. It seemed like a huge mess. It didn't really seem like there was any meaningful advertisement for it. And probably why it fucking failed, truthfully.
We're $500,000 in the hole right now.
I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that at that time. I think a lot of the fighters would have liked to have known that. I don't think none of them needed to be in the dark about that, you know?
Their pay-per-view sales were behind and they were still spending money.
But they weren't honest about the fact that they were spending the money from the ticket sales on the hotel, on flying people in, on all these other things. So it was just like,
so those decisions, the gala decisions, were made while in the red.
Yes.
I have a question about that.
I still don't know why. I still really don't understand why they didn't, like, I don't know. Like, why not shift around the content strategy of your main channel and start putting more stuff in there that was about Creator Clash? It just didn't ever make any sense to me. Like, why not put a little more like energy into advertising your own event?
First of all, they rented the hotel for over 300 creators and flew a lot of them in. When the first year it was much more scaled back.
Ian can't edit a video anymore, so he flies out Twitter editors.
And then the second year, they did that full hotel for 300 creators. They flew a lot of people in. One of the people they flew in was Froggy Tonic, and they flew him in from France.
That's insane.
And Froggy had told us that he was there to salvage the documentary.
Ian and Anissa haven't responded to these latest allegations, but they did defend their tattoos. Priorities.
Cool. It doesn't really matter what I do, because I'll always stay stuck as a fool. I'll never be.
They do be having tattoos. That's pretty crazy.
Cool. It really is remarkable how everything Ian says is projection. Donut Operator revealed in his podcast that Ian stopped talking to him because he made an OnlyFans joke.
He went to a range day with me one time. Like, we used to talk a lot about content creation and stuff. And COVID rolls around, I get bored at home, so I make an OnlyFans where I'm showing my meat.
Really?
And, well, basically, I'm taking a steak and I'm rating a steak. and like,
see, that's the reaction that you're supposed to have.
I don't know. I just Tectone. There's something that bothers the fuck out of me about this fucking guy.
Genius. I thought it was funny. So I'd be wearing like just an apron. Of course, I'm wearing like boxers underneath. And I'd reach down and be like, "This is my OnlyFans," and this is an A5 Wagyu from down the street. And I would talk about it. And I sent it to Ian, and he got mad and called me and like said I was making fun of Anissa, and like I wasn't. I just thought it was a funny bit because I was sitting at home during COVID. And
you'll never understand what it's like to be an ally.
Yeah, he like said stuff like that. I haven't talked to him since. That was like 5 years ago.
Over that?
Yeah, and I've like texted him and tried to reconnect with him. He just won't talk to me anymore.
Ian's response is to say, conveniently leaving out that your girlfriend at the time was pursuing OnlyFans, but you were too pussy to deal with the criticism.
No, it wasn't that funny. I don't know, man. There's something that's just so ingenuine about Tectone. Watching like every interaction that he does, it just seems like he's looking for somebody's like positive attention. Like I think he loves being affirmed by Asmongold. I don't know. There's just something about him. He's just such a fucking weirdo. I don't know. He just seems like I don't know.
So you made a pair.
I don't know, dude. It doesn't really seem like any move he ever does is a genuine move. It just seems like he's just always looking for somebody's affirmations, you know? You know, I know he's a big Asmongold. We watched that Tectone video. I gotta probably release like next week or something. Whenever the fuck it's like backlog. Just like so, it's just such an ingenuine fuck. I don't know. Something rubs me the wrong way. You don't see it? Yeah, maybe that's just the limited shit I've seen, but
charity account. No, I don't want to be friends with a coward. How is any of that a relevant response? Should Donut Operator have uploaded a video like you did, talking about how intelligent he is for letting his wife do OnlyFans?
But I'm cool with it. You do realize there are guys out there in private right now jacking off to your girlfriend. But I guess it's out of sight, out of mind. It's not a problem.
Yeah, Ian wants to see it.
Let me have my hope, all right? I want to believe he's too intelligent for this. Intelligence has nothing to do with it, but I will say this. If you want to retain hope that I'm intelligent, this is the most intelligent thing.
Was this like response even necessary? Or could he have just like let her do her thing and not cared? Just been like, yeah, whatever. You know?
I've probably ever done is revealing this side of me.
Yeah, and Nisa and her husband just wanted an event where they could throw money around and impress people. I think I think that there's like a good amount of weight to that. 100%, absolutely.
Bar's real low, huh? Bro's only real world experience was working at Legoland. This man just said it was the most intelligent thing he's ever done. Donut Operator, you're missing out. You could be Ian. The content cop has been nothing.
Could also be bees.
Nothing but a failure. It's done harm to everyone associated with Ian, so the new narrative is to hide behind the dead bodies of Palestinians. Act as if the content cop was about Israel-Palestine the whole time.
I even hate calling it drama because at the end of the day, it was you kind of taking a stand of being pro-Palestine.
Taking a stand, dude. Being a pro-Palestinian.
Palestine. I don't think that's drama necessarily, but the way that they...
I wonder how people people in Gaza think about every single white American creator being like, guys, I'm just doing it for Palestine. Because that's like the go-to. Just say you're doing something for Palestine, and then you can virtue signal as much as you want. It's so strange. Okay.
Have handled talking about this. People like Ethan and some people on Twitter that cover this make it about themselves so often when
it's just so weird because there's so many creators that are just like, and I would be one of them, that are just, we know we're slopping around. We're just kind of sitting here, we're slopping around, we're fucking around, we're being stupid, we're playing very poorly at this game. We'll get it eventually. Okay. And we know that, like, you know, it's not like that, like, we're not like the saviors of the world. Right? We know we're not saving the world here. And then there is the exact same thing, but on the side that thinks that everything that they do is so like morally loaded. And that's like your iDubbbz and your Anissa. They're just like, oh man, like we're really doing so much for the cause. So you're not doing anything. You guys are making slop and pretending that you're a good person because you say people in Gaza are human beings. Like, no shit. Wow, it's incredible.
That's not what any of this is about, you know, like...
I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking nasty person who just wants to roll around in the shit.
There's people in Palestine dying every fucking day. I think over the weekend, just on Saturday alone, like over 100 people were bombed and killed.
I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit.
What was the, like... impulse to finally take a stand?
Yeah, well, I think Ethan made it really fucking easy for me. I think
Ethan made you want to stand up for Palestinian people.
Honestly, the only like thing that made me like second guess any of it was like how it affects like other people.
Ethan was mad because people were calling CPS on his children, and the content cop was acting like Ethan was lashing out for no reason. But now that Ian's criticized, suddenly he's a big advocate for Palestine. The only time he talked about it is when he said Anissa's half Irish and half Lebanese, so that makes her an expert.
I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the
I can't believe he cut those flags in half. How disrespectful.
Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide.
I love this because we just watched a white liberal sit here and like, listen, that's true. That's true about Irish people. But it's just funny to me because like anytime an Irish person has said anything about something like that, like since like the beginning of like BLM, people are like, no, you're white still, like you're not oppressed. But now you have fucking iDubbbz sitting here using it as like a legitimate talking point to be like, she's 50% Lebanese, she's like 8% Lebanese, and she's 50% Irish. And it's like, and by the way, Irish people are super oppressed. It's like, okay, like where are we here? When do people on the left acknowledge that this is happening? You know what I mean?
On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa,
bro, I don't need to up my vital. I do. I'm still trying to feel out like the best strat for how to take out this guy. That's why I'm like failing so much. I'm trying to get the timings down for for like the shotgun parry, you know?
Is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel.
True, dude. She's super familiar with the shit coming out of Israel. Also out of your ass because you have IBS, so.
Out for this by the entire internet, Ian acts like he's above it all.
Yeah, I'm like definitely a loser to like a huge swath of people online.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't really care to be a winner in their eyes.
Don't care.
Oh, I gotta kind of reconcile with my past moments.
Yeah, so I relate in that way, but then I also relate in the way that it's hard. It's hard to be funny, and I can tell that bro really like admires like a lot of these comedians that he's had on his show. I think he
it's so funny.
Wants to, you know, be something special. I think he wants to be an entertainer, but like
his podcast seems to be doing a little better than yours.
Like it's gonna take a lot of fucking like pain.
Yeah, Ian saw Gangs of New York and he saw what the Irish was. It's so funny. I just watched Gangs of New York like last week. It's actually such a good movie. It's crazy.
And hurt to actually discover who the fuck you are, because I don't think he knows who he is, to be honest.
I love this. This is Ian projecting. Ian is literally just a garbage bag of other people. He doesn't have his own identity. He's projecting. He's making it seem like Ethan Klein doesn't know who he is as a person because Ian doesn't know who he is as a person. He doesn't. He wants to be successful so bad, so he goes after him instead of trying to like actually make a successful podcast. Then again, I mean, he is the most successful podcast talking about vampires kiss, so there's something to that as well. We gotta respect that. I don't know how you're not dead, but okay, we have to respect that, you know.
Be honest, like
it wasn't overnight, like me gaining my confidence back, and I'm still probably not all the way there. But
this guy projects
vampires kiss. Guys, we talked about vampires kiss. We don't do stupid shit on the podcast. No, Ethan does. We talk about vampires fucking kiss.
It's more than a movie theater. Yeah, Ethan should have followed your podcast format, where you hide all your new episodes on Patreon. They've figured out a way to argue that
who the fuck pays for that? Probably Jailer. Jailer probably pays for it.
Making boring content somehow makes them a better person. I've subscribed to their Patreon, and their podcast was so mundane I couldn't bother to slog through it. This was the highlight.
I would say there's some options that you don't think about as existing, especially when you're younger. I didn't think about how I could put an egg in my ramen.
Yeah.
I never considered that.
Yeah.
And it always felt like it was a little bit like lacking something. Like I wanted to put something like cheese in there.
Mhm.
But Fluffy put me on to putting an egg in there. I mean,
is this guy like actually fucking like disabled? What is he talking about? Like, yeah, put eggs in your ramen. Cool, man. Great. That's a good idea. But what the fuck is he talking about? Isn't that just a thing that Japanese people do? How original is that? Hey, I didn't know. Some guy put me on to, doing something that Japanese people have just always done. They just put eggs in their ramen. Oh, fuck, man. Your friend really revolutionizing the industry here.
He chefed it up quite a bit. He would go through the effort of cutting up some green onions and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow, you cut green onions and put eggs in there. That's fucking crazy. I guess that makes sense as to why Ian is so impressed with Anissa, because that impresses. I mean, he thinks that's impressive, like crazy.
Oh, he was really chefing it up.
Yeah, I think he wanted to do more, and I think that's, to be honest, what a lot of I think that's such a positive avenue for people who are struggling with their weight.
How are they morally grandstanding?
What the fuck is he talking about? Putting fucking eggs in your ramen?
And getting less views. They act like Ian's video saved the sex industry.
When the OnlyFans shit happened and everybody was shitting their pants about me having an OnlyFans, there were some content creators that suggested to Ian, the move is to make your own OnlyFans and go in there and fucking just start posting on OnlyFans and make it a big joke. And that's what people want to see. That's what's going to be entertaining. And yeah, we understand what the politically correct, not politically correct,
strategically.
The strategically correct move is.
I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what they're talking about. But I don't think that they understand optics at all. So even if what was the correct move there, we'll say, what the fuck? Then I just don't. They're being stupid. Either they don't know what the correct move is. They're stupid.
But in that instance, for the sex working community, that would harm them so much more than it would help us.
How would it harm the sex work community to make a joking OnlyFans to dunk on the haters? I don't really understand that.
The biggest frustration is that people don't really, it's I'm the one who made all of these videos in the first place.
Yeah.
I understand
The game.
The game.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like the suggestion of like
You're
making the
giving up the
OnlyFans
game.
thing a joke.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, that's so obvious
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
But the people who suggested that shit to me
Mhm.
are f***ing losers. If you're watching this, you're a
True.
f***ing loser.
Oh no,
You're a loser, dude. Got him.
this guy thinks I'm a loser.
I'm gay.
Who would have thought that this would have been the peak of Ian's career? The biggest scope in Ian's video was him saying tons of people agree with him. They just didn't leave a comment or make a video because they're too busy.
I think all of the people who are like, who is like literally winning the argument and who is like presenting a better case. I think a lot of those people are just silent, you know? At most, they're like...
Is he talking about Hasan Parker for being silent? Like, I don't think he's too busy for you, bro. Well, I don't think he's like actually busy. Okay. I don't think he's actually busy. I think he just doesn't give a fuck.
They're clicking like on a video, but they're not gonna fucking put in like the labor to like make sure their guy wins or their girl wins, you know? They're just gonna fucking kind of move on because they got a life.
He's trying so hard to convince himself he's in the right.
Know that other commentary channels, regular people, when they're trying to get a temperature check about how people feel about this, they're gonna like, you know, if the like dislike isn't giving them much of a vibe, they are gonna go to the comments and they are going to use that as a template for how they should feel about it. Not in all cases, but you know, they
Got it. So if anyone disagrees with you, it's just because they're too normal. I don't understand. What is he saying?
They want to have an understanding. They want to be tapped in because I think a lot of people that is like it's important. You know, I want to know what people are thinking about a video. But I think there's a big force of really loud people in the comments, and they scare people away. And especially if it's brigaded fast and quickly.
Brigaded. That's what it is. He puts a video out. Everybody's hate brigading him. It's all just like a psyop. I got it.
Like within the first 24 hours of it being uploaded.
Or maybe it's because your video sucks, but let's let him cook.
There's been a lot of people to put out commentary videos about Ethan, and they go bye-bye.
Like who?
Like they're like, F this. I do not want the smoke. I do not want the heat.
What are you talking about? Everybody's like, most people are generally against Ethan. What do you mean? What the hell are you talking about?
And even if it's like not genuine at all, it's like there are people out there in different communities that are like, I'm going to get on this shit and I'm going to make them feel like the internet's against them and this is the fucking end of their career.
Bro, just name somebody.
Which video?
Maybe Nicholas Diorio's like girlfriend. Maybe Mrs. Rhetoric. That's what we're talking about here.
Videos are, I mean, do any come to mind specifically about?
I mean, I think the left or the snark, the H3 snark has like kept track of them. There was like one smaller commentary channel. I think they may have focused on like fucking like Ethan's topics or Ethan talking about Markiplier maybe. I'm not sure.
What the fuck is he talking about? He could have just said Mika's Rhetoric, no?
What it was specifically, but that one got nuked. There was a woman who made one. Oompaville was another one.
We got one.
Oompaville. There was a woman. I'm assuming he's talking about Mika's Rhetoric. Oompaville made a video where he had no fucking idea what was going on. And he deleted it because he's a fucking idiot. And it was like a horrible video. What?
Name and it's Oompaville. Now, I like Oompaville, but he prefaced his video by saying, I don't know anything about the drama. I'm not going to look into it any farther. And he just sided with Ian on most things. He just says, I don't know the whole time.
I don't know. I really don't know the
Pretty much. That's a pretty good breakdown of that video. Yep.
point of this video. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
But it's very epic, though.
Okay.
A lot of calling out.
Hey, that was me. That was me. You heard me say okay. I guess he looked at my video there.
Of hypocrisy, but
True,
everyone's
dude.
always hypocritical.
True, dude, true. Where the fuck? Why don't you keep me on the screen, you motherfucker?
If you're speaking and you're critiquing things and you're judging people, you're always going to be hypocritical, no matter what. Like, it's not possible to not do that.
True, King. I don't know what that means.
Apparently,
hey, there, I'm on the screen. Whoa, what the fuck? I'm on the screen, dude. Hey, what's up? See, that's literally it, dude. That's my entire legacy. Is that other people delete their videos, I react to it first. That's my fucking smoking gun there.
apparently Denims, I don't know if this is true, I'm not going to fact check it, but this seems like
Incredible.
Incredible.
Papa got archive guy. That's pretty much what it is, dude. I'm just the archive guy. Incredible. Hey guys, I'm gonna watch the iDubbbz video, and I'm gonna pretty much take all of it as fact, whatever iDubbbz says, and then any criticism though, I'm pretty much just not gonna fact check it. It's pretty cool, man. I love it.
When people pointed out how lazy his video was, he co-posted by saying he touches too much grass. Dude, you only had to watch like 20 minutes of the H3 podcast to get his side of things. Is that too much work for you?
Seems like maybe it is, yeah. Post interesting. Remove today's video. Why? Because I felt like it. I'm gonna start doing that more. I'm married. I can do whatever I want. Okay. Also, a lot of people expected a lot of research and taking it very seriously, and I can't do that while maintaining a positive mental state and touching grass and remaining employed, so I'm sorry.
He made a video that sucked and was called out for missing basic things like CPS getting called, but that's the only
and that's like kind of like the big thing, you know?
way you could think this content cop was good is if you're...
It's one thing for you to not be super educated on it. It's another thing for you to not know about the CPS call.
You're missing context. Ian's newest video is on how he doesn't like concern trolling.
Ultimately, concern trolling is just saying something.
I love it. I love and I genuinely hope that Ian keeps doing this. I really do love the fact that he's just continuously is making more Ethan content. The concern trolling video is very clearly an Ethan video. So instead of doing what like he said on his podcast or whatever a while back, which I saw, where they're like, we're done with this, they're just gonna continuously talk about it. Like instead of moving on and doing another topic, they don't have anything else. I think iDubbbz got a lot of views on his Ethan takedown video, and he felt really good about it, even though it got fucking ratioed. And he's just gonna stay in the loop.
In bad faith, it's very similar to tone policing or sea lioning,
which is
tone policing, you know, like Tony Soprano.
So ironic because all he did his entire video was concern troll Ethan and crazy make him. Now Ethan famously has Tourette's, so what's the...
I love that he just played two things of him just doing this with his fucking thing.
Most empathetic couple on YouTube tweet out now that he's become their enemy? Drugs? Okay, it's time for love.
It's fucking crazy.
Wants to step up for real. Parents, partner, someone. I'm saying this so genuinely. It's okay to ask for help. Please get help. I criticized Oompaville earlier in my video for chiming in without looking into anything. But that's the entire strategy iDubbbz, Hasan, and Denim's entirely operate with. You lie, and then you lie to get out of the lie while continuing to lie. And then you convince everyone who doesn't know what's going on that your critics are pro-genocide and are just crazy. The streamer watched an out-of-context TikTok thinking Denim's getting called a waiting room was because she wasn't pregnant.
But just some of the stuff that he says about women, too.
Who said that?
I genuinely don't know how anybody even wants to work for him at this point. It's like actually insane. He's like, what did he say? I saw some clip of him saying something about a woman, waiting room. He called her a waiting room because she hasn't had kids yet. Huh?
Is this woman fucking stupid? I mean, like, whatever. Call Ethan cringe. There's no way that the person... She streams to a lot of people on Twitch. There's no way that somebody that streams to as many people on Twitch as she doesn't know what a waiting room is. A waiting room is literally just somebody who like you'll go into their chat and watch their content until another person comes in. That's just stupid. Like, listen, you know, again, criticize Ethan, call him gay, cringe, or whatever the fuck you want to call him, but you don't know what the big Twitch streamer doesn't know what a waiting room is. I can swear that she gets like a ton of fucking Twitch viewers and she has no idea. Yeah, she's Dr. Pepper with tits. That's what I call her.
Denim's gets called a waiting room because people wait in her stream until Hasan starts. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. But Ethan's sexist now to everyone who watched these TikToks. Even Meat Canyon, who's just trying to be down the middle, is helping Hasan because this is not a down the middle drama.
I don't think that either side's really that fucking, that fucking great, if I'm being honest. I feel like there's a lot of oopsie daisies.
Hot take, dude.
Right? You know what I mean? I don't know. The problem is he can never say that he's wrong about anything. That is the biggest problem with all of these people. Nobody can just be like, yeah, I don't know. It is fucked up. This is fucked up. I shouldn't be.
This is so funny coming from the fact that Ethan will say when he is wrong. He's very petty. That's the real problem. Ethan is very petty, and people take it as like a negative. But like, no, Ethan says when he's wrong, so.
Overreacting to this.
I agree that this is a problem online, but it doesn't apply to Ethan in this drama. He's the only one that has corrected information when he's wrong.
Let me respond.
Yep.
I agree with you. I think that my characterization of it as a utopia, like in that moment, was distasteful, and I wish that I had said that differently. And I see that it came off
Thank
bad.
you.
It came off bad, and I was wrong on that one. I totally agree. Watching that clip back, I'm regretting.
Thank you so much. Like as if it was like it deeply affects him specifically.
Full about how I spoke about it.
Hasan can't even like walk back the fucking the swastika sword that he intentionally bought because it looked like a swastika, and then had iDubbbz using this thing. Can't even do the bare minimum, like not drink a Dr. Pepper. It's on the BDS list in the middle of a conversation about fucking Israel-Palestine. What the fuck?
I think I did say that, and I think that was wrong. I was incorrect on
you've
that.
said that numerous times. You actually said you ChatGPT'd against.
He was just trying to say that like Israel isn't all bad. Like the people there are good. It's the government that's the problem. That's literally his whole point the whole time.
AB when AB was like, I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, by the way, I that's something I looked into, and I was actually wrong about that for sure.
But Hasan and these other people will lie and then continue to double down on it. Some of these lies go back over 3 years. I've documented this forever. But one that I think is particularly relevant is that Ethan is this ultra-Zionist genocide.
The one that's most relevant is that Hasan doesn't care about what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. Like he doesn't give a shit. He thinks that like he doesn't pick sides on something. He's this big supposed anti-genocide guy, but he like doesn't give a fuck when it comes to like any, I guess, I don't know, Western anybody. He doesn't give a shit. So
defenders, sometimes it's because he doesn't cite an exact figure.
You compare the raw numbers, Gazans have lost a lot more than Israelis. 40,000 people have died, and neighborhoods have been completely flattened during this war.
The figure he cites is wrong. It's just wrong. Credible estimates have placed the full scale of the slaughter in Gaza at over 65,000 deaths due to traumatic injury alone.
But when Ethan's video came out, this was a common estimate given by outlets. Another time, Hasan disagreed with one of the 2 organizations that Ethan donated money to.
His organization that Ethan donated to and urged his fans to donate to is not a fucking charity. They gave money directly to the Atlantic Council under the false notion that they were giving money to a Palestinian charity.
But if you watch the original broadcast,
isn't there like I'm pretty sure I saw a new report recently where like Hamas is stopping aid into Gaza at this point. So
this guy's completely transparent.
I work at the Atlantic Council, where I am a resident senior fellow, but also I run Realign for Palestine through the Atlantic Council, and I have a we have like our own standalone website, realignforpalestine.org. There is a donate button. And yeah, so like you're certainly folks can donate there, but also
I wasn't the reason Ethan was doing this was because some of the charities were on like a blocked list.
I would encourage folks to consider the World Food Program has a Gaza Appeals page that is dedicated just for here, I'm going to give you the page that is dedicated for sending food just for Gaza.
Hasan even advocates for the same charity they promoted.
Yeah, the World Food Program is one of the actual humanitarian foundations that they link.
So Hasan mischaracterizes this entire situation and then crashes out, partially because Gila describes people living in Gaza as Gazans.
It's really crazy how Hasan just doesn't want us to help Gazans.
Oh my god. Oh, they're so gross, dude.
What?
Dude, they're such disgusting genocidal
I don't understand. What's genocidal about what they're saying?
Propagandists. Oh my god.
Wait, what is genocidal about what's happening?
Oh, it's crazy how Hasan doesn't want us to help the Palestinians. Wait, did she even say Palestinians? Hold on, maybe she did.
It's really crazy how
she said Gazans because like you need to be specific. There are 2 million people living in Israel proper that like have citizenship, they vote, they're able to like travel freely, etc., etc. So like you have to be specific when you're talking about it because those are people in Gaza is like different gender. They are also Palestinian, but that's why she's saying Gaza specifically.
how Hasan just doesn't want us to help Gazans.
Oh, she didn't even say Palestinians. She said Gazans. Yeah.
What does that matter?
Here, another great way to figure out Ahmed Al-Khatib being a bad faith actor is that he calls himself a Gazan American. He doesn't even call himself a Palestinian American.
Why is he making?
What is he? He's making things up on the spot to just criticize Ethan and Neela for. This is fucking crazy. He's such a fucking baby.
Making it a big deal.
He's making up new supposed dog whistles on the spot. He's just making up new ones on the spot. He just has to. He's just making up new dog whistles on the spot here. It's incredible.
Coverage he watches does it every day.
The Gazans.
Thousands of starved Gazans.
The future of Gazans.
Gazan children. They're pressuring the Gazans. Displaced Gazans.
Hassan has tweeted it several times. Hassan himself has described Palestinians living in Gaza as Gazans.
I mean, come on, this has to be one of like the big things that like owns Hasan, no?
There are definitely a lot of Israelis that do want the Israeli civilians to die, and certainly the Gazan civilians to die as well.
This is so weird. Why, like, I don't understand how he gets away with just outwardly making up new pretend dog whistles. And his audience just, like, eats it up. I don't get it. Like, this is just a new thing. Hila must hate Palestinians because she calls the Palestinians in Gaza Gazans. Like, oh, okay. Like, that's crazy. That's a new one. Even though Hasan has been doing that for how long? Meanwhile, if this guy buys a sword with a swastika on it, says it's a swastika sword and laughs about it, and then makes his fucking, bald little puppet hold it in a video, that's not a dog whistle. That one is not a dog whistle. Okay, makes sense.
Gazans did not have access to... Oh, she didn't even say Palestinians. She said Gazans. Oh, they're so gross, dude.
They're so gross, bro.
But the biggest sin Ethan committed was...
You don't understand what's wrong to say Gaza. There's nothing wrong with saying Gazans. That's the point. Like, he's just making shit up. That's like the whole... He's making up new dog whistles to like... he's making up new things that are supposedly dog whistles so that he can just bitch and moan and complain about Hasan. That's literally, about Ethan and Hila. That's literally it. There's nothing here. There's nothing. He's got nothing. He's just making up new things to complain about.
Not liking a slogan.
You were talking about from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And
so like at worst, the worst interpretation of that would be like someone like Hamas or Hezbollah or like terrorist organizations who are like, yeah, we want to actually kill everybody there. That's the worst interpretation of it. I know that there's a lot of people, obviously, vast majority of people who do say that don't want to kill all the Jews there, right?
There's such...
That's the big smoking gun. Wow, incredible.
Disgusting... genocidal propagandists. Oh my god.
Does he really deserve that label? I'm sure there's plenty of things to criticize Ethan for, but these people are labeling him as something that he's not. He agrees with them on all the biggest points.
Well, this is how you know that like Ethan's take on politics has nothing to do with the reason people don't like him. Like, let's just be absolutely honest. His take specifically on Israel-Palestine is that like Israel has the right to exist, but the government is overreaching and committing genocide onto people in Gaza. That's his take. That is probably that is the most normal take on the situation ever. Nobody cares about that. The people pretending to care about that, they're just looking for a reason to like go after Ethan because they don't like him because I don't know, he's fucking ugly or something. I don't even know. There's no actual substance. They just think that he's cringe because he can be petty, which makes it come off as a little cringe. And that's it. Like that's the whole thing. And so they complain about him. That's the entire thing. That's all it is. They're just looking for an excuse to make fucking complain about him.
The government of Israel is a colossal failure. Netanyahu's a war criminal, a fucking psycho. Into the genocide happening by settler fucking lunatics, and they're hellbent on genocide, frankly, overtly. They've committed tons of war crimes in Gaza, including the killing of children, obviously, because Gaza is one of the most densely populated places in the world. I'm pulled myself all the way to, outright saying that it's apartheid, that it's genocide, that the Israeli government is committing. Happening in Gaza is a terrible...
Maybe he needs to say it's a full tide, and people would start to agree with Ethan,
humanitarian crisis that we should all care about. If you're pro-genocide, then we're definitely going to have a disagreement.
Bro, all of these comments on every video call him a genocide supporter because he doesn't like every single thing these guys say and do.
I don't know. Because none of these people actually care about Gaza. It's like, this is the thing. People have to understand what's happening in Gaza is pretty terrible. But pretty much every single white person in America that are sitting here and like virtue signaling about it, like Hasan Parker, it's just like it's a fashion statement. Like it's a legitimate fashion statement. They don't really care. Like they don't actually care about what's going on over there. Because if Hasan cared, he would do more active advocation in a more productive way. And you could shit and piss and moan all you want, but like the smaller things is like he's not even willing to not drink soda on the BDS list. He's been criticized multiple times. Can't even bother to do something small to show his followers, hey, you shouldn't, maybe you should be more sensitive to the cause. Can't do the bare minimum. Okay. What else can he do? Well, he used to have an exclusivity contract with Twitch before Twitch got rid of those, and he still streams on there exclusively. Why does that matter? Twitch is a subsidiary of Amazon. That's totally on the BDS list. That's super fucking, like, super money to Israel, okay? I'm pretty sure Google is too, right? So what would you do if you're somebody that is saying that you really are a big advocate of, like, Israel, of people in Gaza? What you would do is you would do what other streamers have done before and are successful in doing, and you would create a website for you to stream on specifically, and then you would still stream on Twitch, you would still stream on YouTube, you would still maybe stream on Kick or whatever else, and then you would route people there instead of just getting money that always goes through Jeff Bezos. You'd be like, let me make my own website. I still need to stream on Twitch and I still need to stream on YouTube or whatever other platform because it's I need to get people visibility on what I'm saying and I want to capitalize on those platforms. But I'm also going to route you to a specific website that I can take the money 100%. I can donate more of the money. I can even say 50% of your the money coming in here is going to go to Gaza, right? Like, he's a millionaire. Why couldn't he do any of these stuff, right? Like, there's so many different things that, someone like I said, he doesn't care though. And then that not caring, it bleeds into his audience. Like, and so basically what they are actually hearing and seeing from Hasan is, yeah, weaponize Israel Palestine, say horrifically insane shit, and then just be like, oh, I'm advocating for a good thing so I can get away with it, and then not actually do anything productive. That's pretty much that's where we're at that point. So I mean, yeah, you couldn't even do anything.
What's going on? But ever since October 7th, it's like I'm nothing more or less than a Zionist genocide supporter. Nothing.
Genocidal propagandist. Oh my God.
At what point are they just slandering him? And the most cowardly part is they hide behind the dead bodies of Palestinians to avoid any accountability on this.
Also wild because the political content creator in question is an anti-genocide content creator, and the arguments they're attacking him for.
Let's see, do I get anything?
Content creator in question is an anti-genocide content creator, and the arguments they're attacking him for are anti-genocide arguments. So
damn. Couldn't even get myself a shout out in a Noah Samson video. What the hell's happening to me? What the hell is happening to me, bro? Jesus Christ, I can't even get it.
These creators, they're positioning themselves in opposition to him and his arguments, de facto positioning themselves on the pro-genocide side. Anti-genocide is pro-genocide.
Yeah, so basically if you criticize somebody, Hasan, if you criticize somebody who says, what's happening in Gaza is bad, then you're a genocide supporter or something. Okay.
Quite the precarious predicament they've placed themselves in.
What a just like a really unintelligent way to operate in the world. It's kind of gross.
He's twisting himself into a pretzel trying to explain it. You can't criticize Hasan, otherwise you're pro-genocide. It's so stupid. I watched Noah Samson's most recent video about Ethan Klein and Mutahar suing him for defamation, and I was blown away when I heard his explanation for why Mutahar is pro-genocide. It's because he criticized Hasan for his Houthi interview. One of the worst interviews in all of
Yeah, it was terrible. It was not like a responsible interview at all.
Have an entire
He didn't actually like get to know the kid. He just made a bunch of fucking jokes and memes about anime, and that's it. It was just fucking cringe.
Video on it. Go watch it.
Does he know what One Piece is?
One Piece, like, is that an organization?
No, One Piece is an anime.
Luffy.
Luffy?
Yeah, he said he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
No way.
Yeah.
You watch an anime?
That's sick. Yes.
I think he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did qat with them, and he danced to music with them, and he was vibing. So he likes him. Yeah.
So what? That's so crazy. So they're just fucking chilling with the captains? Like, I don't understand.
To be clear, we're talking about a man they took hostage.
No, you don't understand, dude. Willie, you don't understand. They took the hostage of them, but they actually like being hostages. That's what Hasan says. It's incredible.
America's like blowing them up while they're just like doing cat and fucking chilling with the captains. Like, how does he feel about that? Isn't that fucking crazy? Like,
isn't that crazy? It's such a responsible interview.
I don't know how to describe it.
They essentially claim, we couldn't have possibly supported a genocide because elsewhere we have said that we don't. We said that genocide is bad, so we are exempt from any criticism for any other things we may have said that do actually.
You just reversed the statement, and that's you guys. You said it's what? That's what you guys are doing. You said the genocide's bad, so it completely. That's what you literally are doing.
Support a genocide. For this point, one of the quotes that they
you guys are literally weaponizing this genocide for like your own personal gain. What the fuck are you talking about?
Cite is Mutahar saying, "I'm not afraid to say that genocide is wrong." Wow, how brave of you, Mutahar.
He feels like he has to say that because you keep saying otherwise.
Aside from that being just false, Mutahar stayed silent on Gaza throughout the entirety of the genocide.
Damn, didn't Mutahar also say he wasn't going to buy the Switch 2 and then he bought it? And then he apologized for buying it instead of just putting a disclaimer in his video where he bought it saying like, hey, that was a little clickbaity. Made a whole apology video, right? Like, isn't that like a whole thing? I'm pretty sure that's true. And then, which would lead me to believe to some degree that maybe some of it's a little performative. I'm not going to buy it. Okay, there's your video. Then then you buy it and you review it. There's another video. Then you apologize for buying it. There's your third video. There's your, that's what you do, guys. You have a crazy take. You say something crazy, you go against what you said, and then you apologize for it. You got 3 nice, beautiful videos. Isn't that just like a fucking awesome content strategy? I don't hate the guy. I just don't understand why he would fucking apologize. It's just kind of like, it's just kind of strange, man. Like, and to be honest with you, I don't necessarily think that he was like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I don't think he was doing it. I think it was more like, he said he wasn't going to buy it, maybe to be a little clickbaity. Then he bought it because like, hey, why not? It's just the apology that gets me. Like, why not even make a community post? Be like, listen, guys, like I said, I wasn't going to buy it, and then I bought it, like, for content, so I can review it. Like, what? Something, I don't know. Just say something. Who gives a fuck? You know? Ugh, dude, I hate this emote shit. Fuck!
Till it was time to join his friends on a Hasan bad smear campaign. True. If that's not fear, I don't know what you'd call it other than, I guess, cowardice.
That's it? Muta didn't make a video?
Don't worry, I've been on the Hasan bad thing since he justified Russia genociding Ukrainians through starvation.
Video on the conflict, pro-genocide. Muta criticized Hasan, pro-genocide. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought Muta was a Canadian YouTuber. Didn't realize he was the Prime Minister of Israel. This is the propaganda machine at work. Lie about...
That'd be very woke of them to have a non-Israeli Prime Minister, dude. Holy shit.
People who criticize you. When you get called out, crazy make them. Support people who dox or falsely called CPS on them. Then when they respond to that, concern troll. Hide behind the dead bodies of children. Act above it all, even though they instigated it. That way everyone who's not paying attention will think you're the rational one.
That's pretty much what it is. If you're super educated on what's going on in the Ethan Hasan verse, then you know Ethan's right. If you're not, you're probably having a really functioning life, but hey, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck.
It's really...
I should react to Mutahar's apology. Why? Like, I wouldn't have to watch all the videos though.
Dangerous to conflate anti...
I might also buy the Switch 2. I really don't give a fuck. Personally, I didn't care. I might do it just to flex. I honestly might go to Costco just to get it, you know?
Zionism with anti-Semitism, but it's completely acceptable to conflate criticizing Hasan with being pro-genocide. I'll probably get blamed for killing an entire school bus worth of children for uploading this YouTube video.
Dude, I'm about to fuck. I fucking killed the whole school bus worth of children this morning. I fucking blasted my shit, boy. You know, dude, come on. You're making me soft. Oh, dude, no fucking shit.
What you're doing with your platform is entirely negative against pro-Palestinian.
We're both wearing purple.
And voices, yeah. Of course, people are going to think you're fucking anti-Palestine, and I personally think that too. I do think that. The fact that while Israel is doing a genocide,
Twitch 2 is an L. Why is it an L though? Mario Kart World looks pretty good, you know.
A lot of these people have shifted their priority directly to drama slop and to attack people who call out Israel's genocide.
Come on, man. You know that we're all doing drama slop. Even you. We're all just doing drama slop. Stop pretending otherwise. Stop pretending you're above it all. You do political drama slop. Knock it off.
We'll never fucking forget these monstrous pieces of shit for looking at a situation like the one happening, the one unfolding in Gaza, and choosing to never say anything about it, only to then make these fucking drama videos.
Me when I encouraged you starred in a drama video with iDubbbz, and now you're complaining that people talked about it. It's got to be some level of rage bait. How do I turn this fucking idiot bullshit off where I fucking sit down and emote every 2 seconds?
Call out the people who call out the Israeli government.
Why is this defaulted
that's what you choose to do after 12 months, 13 months, 14 months of genocide, then you are less than nothing to me. Tens of thousands of children fucking destroyed. Okay? I read accounts from a parent that felt fire for the first time. Woke up, okay? Immediately grabbed her son, started running out of the house, and in the process didn't realize that her son felt a little bit lighter. He turned back around and saw that it wasn't her son that she was holding. It was simply her son's arm. Damn. Okay? That is the daily reality for Palestinians.
He's using a dead kid to shield valid criticism. It's so gross.
I mean, if you really care about that, Hasan, then why the fuck do you keep engaging in the slop part of it, in the drama slop? Because that's what he does. He just continuously engages in the drama slop. Every like 2 seconds, he's always trying to insert himself in there, and then he's pretending that he's above it all. It's like, okay, then stop doing that. You're the one doing like crossover here.
He just uses being pro-Palestine as a way to try to dance on this fucking tightrope where he gets to say whatever the fuck he wants.
That's you. These people want diplomatic immunity. Can't criticize Hasan because he is critical of Israel. Can't criticize Ian because he runs a for-profit charity.
Ian is the only person who gets a pass for torpedoing his own admission.
Vinny?
Torpedoing
Vinny the Black.
a charity event. Why are we giving Ethan a pass for saying he wants the charity event to fail, effectively getting the charity event to fail and to postpone, and for the original creators to divest from?
How come his voice is so zesty?
Nothing is ever these people's fault. Hasan can't get stopped at an airport without blaming his critics.
These fucking dumbass slop tubers are actually playing with fucking fire.
Slop tubers.
And I even thought about not even mentioning this because
No, he didn't think about not mentioning it. He wants to play victim. What are you talking about, dude?
I was like, I don't want to give him any sort of like power over the situation, but like the reality of the matter is 100% the Trump administration is inadvertently working with a lot of these fucking dipshits. These dipshits are.
Damn, he's tying everybody to the Trump administration now, guys. We love Trump here, guys, because we criticize Hasan. We love Trump here because of that.
Playing a formative role in getting people in trouble with the law.
This guy lies so much in this video. It's comical. These people are such spurgs. Ryan Beard announces that he's criticizing Ethan in an upcoming video, and Hasan tries to gatekeep it. If you're a YouTube content creator who hasn't said dick about Israel-Palestine, and you're only now starting to let your critical positions on Israel be known, after 19 months of genocide, since it's no longer going to cause you severe career penalties, and you've spent a moment finger-wagging at people who have been correct the entire time, I will absolutely come after you. So you just argue with people that agree with you.
He's coming right after him. That means that Ryan's going to jerk off first.
You argues with Ethan, argues with Ryan. I will
WillyMac TSA collab, true.
absolutely come after you. You aren't going to do shit. Oh no, Hasan's
Sound like a pirate. Y'all are going to do shit.
going to react to Bad Empanado watching somebody else's video. And then get
Uh-oh.
up and leave halfway through. I have a lot more to say about Hasan, but that'll be part of a much bigger video. So subscribe to the channel and buy your dad a wallet.
All right. Guaranteed more content to watch, baby. Oh, we love it. We gotta love it, baby. We love it.
Shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Crimson Glass Riveter, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drink Kobex, Necro Valley, The Confusing Opinion, Eddie Bizzle, Tiz McFitz, Christopher H, Sennial Music, Lucas If, ET Automatic, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amur MLB, Rooney Boo, Drew is Sharon, Clown Factory, Monkey D Luffy, Shura, Mustard Shirt Guy, Tiffany Sullivan, and the mega homies, Hellison, IGP, Your Taxi, Cyber Katie, Lore Reloaded, Papa Gut,